All right, we're going to move right along. Joining us now is Republican insider, Montana Senator Mr. Steve Daines, our great friend. Senator Daines, thank you for coming on. So we had our own Bill Melugin was giving us a report, and close to 80% is going to be a shutdown, even though the money's already been allocated to Homeland Security for purposes of immigration. I don't understand any of this grandstanding. Maybe you can give us a quick update, sir.
Larry, we don't understand it either. It's like watching a bad movie for the second time. It's like the Democrats now are throwing another hissy fit that want to shut down the government. This bill that we want to vote on, the U.S. Senate, was passed with an overwhelming bipartisan fashion last week. It came to the Senate. It's our turn now to pass what the House passed, get on the president's desk, and keep the government open. We have till Friday at midnight. American people do not want to see another shutdown. Larry, I was going through the airport today, flying back from Montana to Washington, D.C. One of the TSA agents said, "Sir, is there going to be another government shutdown?" They've been through it once before, 43 days. This is what the Democrats are asking for, another shutdown. Look, credit President Trump and credit his team for de-escalating the situation in Minnesota. He sent Tom Homan in, made changes there in the leadership structure. He reached out personally, President Trump did, to Governor Walz. Tom Homan, the border czar, met with Governor Walz today and with the mayor of Minneapolis. They are working to de-escalate it. But think about what ICE does for our country. There are 22,000 agents show up every day to protect us. They've removed 150,000 criminal illegal aliens in our country and deported them. Our nation is much safer because of their actions. And what have they received in response to that? An 8,000% increase in death threats since the year began. Look, they've got a tough job. I think we all agree what happened in Minnesota needs to be carefully investigated and reviewed. But let's not take 22,000 agents that come in every day and do their jobs and throw them under the bus because the Democrats want to shut down the government.
Well, the story is just so strange. I mean, Susan Collins, Senator Collins is right. You're really talking about FEMA money or TSA money. There, again, our Bill Melugin reported yesterday correctly, there's already been money, plenty of money. I think some $75 billion has been appropriated to DHS for immigration purposes, at least through, I think, fiscal year 28 or fiscal year 29. They're not taking money away from the immigration side. They're taking money away from FEMA in the middle of all these national snowstorms and power outages. That's just the stupidest damn thing I ever heard.
Larry, that's an inside baseball, but that's exactly what's happening. Remember, in the working families tax cut bill that we passed, the president signed in July, we allocated $150 billion for basically DHS. So the part that the Democrats are most angry about is going to get funded, but it's going to be FEMA, TSA, Secret Service that would be defunded right now with the shutdown. And so as we remember what happened the last time the Democrats shut down the government, they saw no policy outcome. These shutdowns begin with a great big bang. They end with a whimper. Let's not inflict this pain on the American people by shutting down the government. Let's work this out. I credit President Trump for de-escalating the situation, but it's a two-way street. We need some cooperation. We need the folks there in Minnesota to say it's okay to take the criminal aliens off the street, but we can change the tactics. Tom Homan's doing that. President Trump made a change in leadership. He's doing the right things to de-escalate it. Now let's de-escalate the temperature here in Washington and get the government funded.
Well, Kristi Noem's not going to be impeached or ended. She's not going to be fired. The president made that very clear. We can't give up the laws. I mean, I think you would agree, sanctuary cities, those are the problem areas. Todd Blanche, the Deputy Attorney General, said that in one of the talk shows on Sunday. You go to Texas, everything's fine. Okay, because they're cooperating, the local police are cooperating with ICE and so forth. But if you go to Minneapolis, everything's not fine because of the sanctuary city. We can't get rid of it. We have laws on the books. Don't we have to enforce those laws?
It doesn't help us, Larry, when you have mayors and governors who are openly hostile to the rule of law. And that's why you see a contrast in our country, where ICE is operating right now in states that have the support. You're seeing smooth operations. It's where you're seeing this resistance to law and order where you have the problems. And so I hope that because of President Trump's leadership, he's de-escalating the situation, taking the temperature down in Minnesota. I hope the Democrats will take the temperature down here in Washington, that common sense prevail. There's negotiations going on. There can be a meet in the middle moment here for some of the policies, but in terms of the funding bills, those have already been baked in. They were passed by the House with Democrats supporting it. Bipartisan cooperation. Let's get this passed in the Senate and stop the nonsense of a possible government shutdown.
If you had to, this is unfair, but if you had to guess, are we going to have this partial? It's just, is it a partial shutdown? That's the part. A 78% shutdown. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but it is what it is. Can we get around it? I guess that's the thing. Will anybody come to their senses, or are the Democrats just going to walk the plank? Because walking the plank here, and let me just repeat this point. It just seems to me obvious. Okay. President is negotiating. He's talking. Tom Homan's talking to Minneapolis, trying to, work things out and understand what has happened there. Okay, but the laws are the laws, and we all agree we want to get rid of the worst of the worst. The illegals have to be deported. There's no question about that. And the sanctuary cities they're lawbreakers, Senator Daines, right? I mean, you can't get around that. Or tell me if I'm wrong on this.
You're not wrong on that, and it's a sad fact that you've got mayors and governors who are openly opposed to the rule of law. President Trump's trying to restore law and order. Why does he want to do that? Because it restores safety in our communities, where you've got scared moms who don't want their kids on the street, you've got scared dads as well. But there is no plan B right now, Larry. Either the Democrats will take what the House passed in an overwhelming bipartisan fashion and pass the Senate, or there will be a shutdown. There's no plan B. If we don't go with plan A, there will be a shutdown on Friday night.
All right. No, sir, I get it. I hear you loud and clear. I appreciate, Senator Daines, appreciate you coming on very, very much with that update.